You're in the board meeting. Yeah. Does anyone know where Larry went? We're gonna speak really right back, but in the meantime.
Here it goes.
Oh, good, okay. Welcome you, this is our monthly meeting for November. We always have a tech talk. And we have our special guest here, Larry Schreier. I would like to point out a few people here. You know, in the background, you come to the meeting, you read the newsletter and so forth. But in the background, we have lots of people who are in the tech team, and you may or may not know about them. And Steve Morris is always working with Larry and doing whatever is needed in the background. But today, I'd like to especially acknowledge Harry Slingland. And he's kind of like the little elf that goes around checking on all the paper and the toner and making sure that we have what we need to keep the tech lab supplied. And I just found out it's birthday, so let's sing happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. We got a smile. We really appreciate all your help, everybody. And as you probably know, I'm talking president of the Tech Club. Larry Schreier is vice president and coordinator for the tech team. And Liz Perry,
I'm here.
is our treasurer. Linda Wire is our secretary. And Tim Walter has many hats. He's past president. He's kept this going. He kept the club going through years of pandemic, and he's the director. And you can see he helps out all the time. We appreciate everybody, all the volunteers for the town. I'd also like to point out Stanley Pinkos. Pinkos, how do you say your last name? Pinkos, okay. He is always sharing a lot of information, mostly about Apple. So I put some of that in the newsletter because all those Apple users can use that. How many people are Apple? How many are Windows? Microsoft? Okay, about evenly divided. So Larry's going to be talking today about the tech lab. But before he does, I would like to take a little survey. What happened to my paper? Oh, I know, I'll put it on here. Because the tech lab is a benefit that you have as a tech club member, we're going to do kind of like a little survey of how you use it. And Linda's agreed to take a tally here. So I'd like you to raise your hand. How many use the tech lab more than once a week? Raise your hand. 2, 3. And that could be the work area too, even if you don't use the computer. How many use the, okay, so we have 4, 5, okay. And how many use it more than once a month? Maybe not every week, but 1, 2, 3. Okay. How many have used or used the outgoing fax capabilities that we have? 1, 2. Okay.
How many need to?
Pardon me? How many need to learn? Yeah, no, that is something, you can receive faxes, but you can send, if you have to send something to the doctor's office or somewhere.
Yeah.
There is one computer set up, and Larry will talk about that, where you can use that to send out a fax. You don't have to pay for it. It's free with your membership. How many people use black and white printers? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, that's quite often used. And even if you don't use the computers, you may know that you can connect wirelessly with a tablet, phone, or a laptop to use the printers. How many use the color printers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. How many read the monthly newsletter? Okay, too many to count. That's good. How many of you come to health sessions on Sundays? the second and fourth Sunday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, we all, 8 sometimes, okay, that's all right.
Yeah.
And how many check the website that Larry maintains for all the resources? There's so much information there and updates. How many of you check the website pretty often? 5, 6, 7.
Of course I do.
8. Yes, you work. All right, and then are there any other benefits of the tech club that you use that I haven't mentioned? Anything else that you find helpful? Or is there something you would like to have as a benefit to the tech club, to being a member of the tech club? That's not available right now. If there's something that's come up, oh, I wish I had this.
I don't know, I'm brand new, so I don't know what.
Well, you're gonna find out, maybe you can let us know at the next meeting. Okay. All right, well, at that note, we're talking about the tech lab, and our main speaker today is Larry Schreier, as I mentioned, and he's gonna tell you all about it.
Okay. What I've got up here is, this is my laptop. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to bring up Zoom. Since I'm at the meeting. Come on, Zoom. Okay, and it's up here. It's not coming up, of course.
Technology.
There we go.
See, it's not just you at the problem. We always.
Just gotta find the right button. Okay, so Zoom is up, and what I have done is I will go in and share my screen. And the screen I am sharing is going to be from System 5 in the lab. So that is what System 5 looks like in the lab. And that's what the screen looks like when you go in and sign on. And what we've done is we've lined up all the regular browsers across the top up here. So you can double click on any of those and open whichever browser you're comfortable using. The next row is all of the Office products, and that's only some of them. There's several others, and I'll show you how to get to those. Then I put up the mail, like if you're doing, well, there's Google Maps, and then there's Gmail, Yahoo Mail, Hotmail and Outlook. You can do any of those three, and that's the easiest way. If you have like a Gmail account, click on the Gmail and it'll come up and then you can just go sign into your account and sign in like you would if you were on your own personal computer. And then, and you can do the same thing with Yahoo, Hotmail, Outlook, whatever you're using for your mail server.
iCloud.
What's that?
And iCloud.
And iCloud is here as well. So you can get to your iCloud account using that.
So we're on a Windows 10 or 11 machine.
This is Windows 11. All the machines in there are Windows 11.
We have the latest.
And what you'll see is on Windows 11, and we didn't change this, we could have, but we didn't change it. So on Windows 11, it's this icon down here at the bottom. That's used to be clear over on the left-hand side to bring up your, all your apps and all that kind of stuff. So they moved it to a different place. And then what I did was I put all of the clubs that have websites, their websites are all here as icons. So you can just click on it, like for Sunflower Living, just click on it and it'll take you right straight to Sunflower Living. And then you can do whatever you want to do there. You can go in and look at your clubs. You can look at all different kinds of stuff there. And just so you know, probably the end of this month or middle of next month, the website, Sunflower Living website will be changing. We're in the process of updating that and make it more mobile friendly. So you can actually do things on your mobile phone and your iPads and tablets a little easier. And then there's the Microsoft Maps program, which is basically the same as Google Maps. And then we were talking about fax. There's a folder here called fax. You can just double click on that. And it gives you the directions in one PDF. That'll come up. You can actually, it'll tell you step by step how to go through and send a fax. And if you need a cover sheet, if you don't have your own cover sheet, there's a fax cover sheet here as well. And you can, it's made so you can fill it in and then print it out. So you can fill it in, print it out, and then follow the fax instructions. Basically, what it's going to tell you to do is open the fax cover sheet, complete the cover sheet, print it, and then put the cover sheet on top of the pages that you're going to send face up on the document feeder. And if they're two-sided, you need to tell it that they're two-sided or one-sided. Then you enter the fax number of the recipient and press fax start. And then what it'll do is it'll feed the pages through, and when it's done faxing, it'll send a transmission report. It'll print out a transmission report for you to tell you that it was sent, where it was sent, that information.
So this is the printer attached to System 5.
This is the one that's attached to System 5, the one that's between System 5 and the Mac. The 9130. That's the only one we have in there that does fax. So that's how you do a fax. And I know I went through that fairly quickly, and all of this stuff I'll be going through probably a little quicker than taking notes. But one thing that you should know is this book is in there. It's the Sunflower Tech Club Computer Lab User Guide. That's in there. And it's also on all the computers. It's right here. Double click on that and it takes you to the same. And you can find out how to do all the different things in here. It tells you how the PC operates, how to do wireless printing, the Apple Mac. It goes into just some very basics with the Mac. And how to print on the 2540 and the 6200. And how to do, you can do copies on some of the printers. You can, there's several different things you can do with those. So, and the 9130 is the one that does fax, it does copies, it does color printing. It covers all of that. And then this section here explains how to do what we call snip and sketch. Basically, it's to take a screenshot. So if you want to take a screenshot, you press the window. You can do it several ways. You can press the window button, or you can just do a search for snip and sketch. Or if you find out what the keystrokes are, you can actually hit the window key, the shift key, and the S key all at the same time, and it brings it up. And lets you make a screenshot. And it actually lets you can take a full screenshot, or you can just outline the area you want, and kind of like it shows here with this, you can just take a screenshot of that section. And then once you get that, you can actually type on it, you can draw lines on it, you can do whatever you want to with it. So it's kind of a neat program, a little more than the print screen program used to be. So this walks you through how to do all of that. And then also how to take a screenshot on a Mac. Now this is on the Epson scanner. That's connected to System 5 also. That's the only one that has the flatbed scanner of the Epson one. I can't remember which printer it is. I think it's the 60. Let's see, which one is it? This again. The 6200, the 6200 printer will also. Or no, the 2540 will also do scanning. So you can scan with it as well. And the way you scan with it is you can put a stack of papers in face up, it'll scan them that way, or you can do one piece of paper face down on, lift up the top of the printer, put it on there and do a copy that way. And then there's another explanation in here on Chromecast, which that is because we have a TV in there now. We can now cast to that TV from any of the computers in there. And this explains how to do that. That would be if you wanted to, if you had a couple people in there, you want to show them how to do something, you can do that on there. Or if you want to look at a YouTube video and you want several people in there to see it, you can do that on that TV. And you just go on your computer, you go to whatever you want to look at on YouTube, and then you use the Chromecast function, which is what we used to use in here quite a bit for getting the screen, the computer screen there up here. We used to use Chromecast quite a bit. And then accessing the Wi-Fi. If you don't know how to access Wi-Fi, this will walk you through how to do that. It's pretty basic on your phone. You really want to just go look on Wi-Fi for Tech Club. And our Wi-Fi here is a mesh network. So no matter where you go on the premises, you'll be connected. You don't have to go to a repeater or anything like that. It'll switch you automatically there.
Just make sure when you come in that you are signed into Tech Wi-Fi if you're trying to print. Otherwise, sometimes you get signed into Sunflower Village Center. And if you try to print from there, they won't communicate with each other.
What you should do is you should set up, if you're a Tech Club member and you want to use the Tech Club Wi-Fi mainly, set up your Tech Club Wi-Fi sign on to be auto connect and your Sunflower Village one to not be auto connect. That way, when you walk in the building, it'll connect you to the Tech Club automatically. You don't have to guess which one you're on. You don't have to look it up.
Right.
You'll automatically be there. And like you said, the printers, all of our printers are connected to the Tech Club one, and that's where you have to be in order to print from there. And one thing that does happen with all of the Word, all the Office products, when you save a document in those, it's set up the default to go to your documents folder on the machine. So you can, if you're not saving it on your own thumb drive directly from Word or Excel, you can find the document in here where it says this is document shortcut. That's the documents on this machine. When you first sign in, there won't be anything in there because when you sign off of this machine, it will wipe everything out. It doesn't save any of it for the next person who signs on. It's gone. So what you want to do is, if you save it, just tell it to save, it'll save it to this folder, and then you can copy it from this folder over to your thumb drive or whatever you want. Or you can just bring it up in here and print it if you want to just print it and not save it. But all of these Office products are set up to save in the documents folder. And like I said, you have all the different clubs you can go to. You have, you play cards. Most of the rest of this, and this is one thing that I was talking about with that snip and sketch. You can actually go and click right here. That's the snipping tool. It's just a shortcut to this, do the same thing. And then, let's see. This is, if you're on one of your wireless devices and you want to print to the 9130, you have to use this printer. It's called, because that printer is hardwired to the System 5. So we put in a network sharing device, so that's what you have to do in order to get to it that way. But if you're on the network, on one of the computers that's connected to the network, you don't have to worry about that. And that's really about all there is in this part of it. The rest of the lab, we've got the work area there set up. There's chargers for Apple, there's chargers for Androids, anything that uses a USB-C to charge, there's chargers for that there. So you just plug the cord into your phone, your iPad, whatever, and it'll charge it for you right there. There's also a screen just set up at the far end of that work area, and it has a HDMI cable plugged into it. You can plug that into your laptop or other device if you want to be able to look at it on a little bigger screen. That's all available there. There's the shredder, there's we have staplers and tape and all of that stuff there. If there's anything you need for like office supply type stuff while you're working in there, all of that's supplied. All of our paper, of course, and our toner. And if there's ever anything else that you feel should be in there or that you think you would use if it was there, be sure to let us know, because we're always looking for ways to improve that for everyone. I didn't go into anything with the Apple because I'm not an Apple person and I can't get into the Apple from here, so I can't help you much with that. But there is a Mac in there, and it is kept up to date, and it has a lot of the same functionality. It has Microsoft Office on it, so you can do anything with Office. So you don't have to work in pages and numbers. You can actually work in Excel and Word if that's what you're comfortable with. So you can do that kind of thing there. So that's really what we have in there. And if there are any questions on the layout or the programs or anything we have, one thing I didn't show you was if the program you want isn't here on the screen, you can click on this box down here. It's the start. And this gives you the ones that are pinned, which are basically the same ones that are up there. But you can click on all apps, and now you can scroll down through those and see all the apps that are on here. It's got a camera app, a calendar app, clock. It's got all kinds of apps on here. Most of them aren't used very much, so we didn't bring them up to the front. But there's this Clipchamp, which is good for if you're editing videos and stuff. There's just a lot of good programs that are on here that we don't put on the start page or the desktop. So those are available as well. And that's about all I've got. If anybody has any questions.
Yeah.
Sure.
A lot of us who have switched over to using the Mac did so 5-10 years ago when Windows was notoriously insecure. And I'm wondering, I don't really know today, is that with Windows 11 and the security enhancements now, is that even true anymore?
Well,
Windows machines are less secure than.
the difference used to be between Windows and Mac was that Mac, and Mac still does this, Apple does, they are in total control of every program that can be put on their devices. They're in total control of all of that. Where Windows is an open platform where anybody can develop for it. And so if you have people that are developing for your operating system that aren't security conscious, they can leave back doors for people to get in and leave ways for people to get in. And so that was a problem. What we've done with ours is we use the McAfee system. It's an antivirus, anti-malware. It's a pretty secure system. So it's kind of hard, and Norton's another good one. We just use McAfee because that's what came with the computers. But that's the one I use at home as well. It's a very secure system, and so is Norton. So either one of those would be good systems to use. And there's no sure way Apple is getting hacked more now because more people are using it. So that was the other thing, was Apples weren't as popular as PCs at one time. Now they're as popular, if not more popular, and so the hackers are figuring out how to get into Apple stuff as well.
I've been using Apple probably 8 years. I've never had anybody hack or have a virus or anything like that.
Yeah.
And everybody I've helped in here, no one's brought an Apple with a hacking issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are pretty tight, but there's
Yeah.
security.
They'll pay you like.
Oh, yeah.
I actually got my first Apple computer in 1984, one of those little ones you had to keep putting the buttons in and out. How many of you remember those? Yeah, I see some of you are laughing, yeah. And what I am an Apple lover, just like Liz. I love the fact that you can call Apple support for free on the phone, and I put the number in the newsletter. And then they'll help you with everything. They even have a special division for photography and for iCloud and so forth. And sometimes you get one person who will help, and maybe they don't know everything, so you can ask, okay, give me the next person up on the next level of ability. So I have found that an excellent resource. That's why I love Apple, because that's free support. I don't have to call the Geek Squad or someone else. And then also I can make an appointment at the Apple store at La Quintada, so that if I need to bring in my computer or Apple phone or whatever, I can bring it in and talk to the Genius Bar. So that's that's why I'm an Apple advocate. I also want to say that last year, those of you who may be new, you may not have realized that, I think it was earlier this year, the tech lab had to be remodeled to take out the carpet and put in new carpet. So the tech team took all the computers out, all the tables out, and everything out while that was being done. And then when they put them back, they really upgraded and updated. They put in the new Wi-Fi. And so, again, Larry is the tech team leader, did that, and Steve and Tim and Harry and the other people on the tech team really went all out. Now, this is kind of like a labor of love to make all these things so easily accessible to us. And I don't know if you know this, but Larry has also become president of the Veterans Club, but he's agreed to stay on with us, which I'm very thankful for. So I always appreciate that. So, does anybody else have anything about anything? Yes.
This will show my tech savvy. Sometimes an office will ask me to either fax or scan. What's the difference?
Okay, well, faxing means that you're actually sending the document. So what it'll do is with fax machine, it will dial the phone number of the fax machine at the other end, and it will send a fax to them. Doctors' offices use this because they feel it's still more secure than a PDF document that you can scan and come up with a PDF document and send that in an email. They don't feel those are as secure as a fax machine, because with a fax machine, you're connecting one machine to one machine. And nobody can intercept it, nobody can change it, it's just a direct connection. And so that's why a lot of the medical offices are still using fax machines. A lot of them now are getting though, because they're getting to understand that in order to send a fax, people do it electronically, which means that you scan it and you go into a program on your computer and fax it that way. That's no more secure than sending an email. So because you're sending it to a third party that sent the fax to them. So it's no more secure, it's just as secure as that third party is. So that's the difference between the two. Scanning is just you're scanning, you can scan it into a PDF document and save it as a soft document on a thumb drive or something. And fax, you're actually sending the document from one end to the other.
So what's the difference between scanning and copying?
Well, if you scan a document, you can then print it. Or you can scan it and just save it as a soft document on your thumb drive or on your computer. So that's what scanning does. When you're copying, you're just making a paper copy of whatever document you have. So that's the difference between scanning and copying. Our copy machines in there, or all copy machines, they actually scan the document and print it. That's what they do.
Yeah.
But they do it all in one function where you can, if you're just scanning, you can scan it and then you can save it as a soft document.
And you can send it as an attachment.
Right, you can send it as an attachment, you can.
Oh,
What you can also do is, I do this all the time, I just take a picture of the document and then I just send it as an attachment.
Right.
It's easier than going to a fax machine or
Yeah.
if it's something I don't really care about the security.
I just ran into that when I was doing something legally to an attorney, and that wasn't acceptable,
Right.
so.
Attorneys are almost as doctors.
Well, usually an attorney or our financial advisor has a secure place where you can do that, DocuSign or something like that, and it requires a password. So most lawyers, financial advisors will send you that instead. And I have done the method of taking a picture, but then signing into the DocuSign.
Right.
I get it.
Yeah, most anybody who has to have this real secure, like real estate for financial stuff, they almost all do the DocuSign, something like that. And that's using a third party to actually do the document signing. And so that's the security that's there, but that's built so that you have to sign in, you have to do all of the processes to document who you are before they accept your signatures and your documents.
Thank you. And are there any other questions? I do want to say, I forgot to mention that Apple recommends using a program called Malwarebytes. I use the free version of it instead of McAfee or Norton for security. Anybody else use Malwarebytes? What's it called? You like it?
Malwarebytes.
Malwarebytes, BYTES.
Okay.
You like it? Yeah, I've been advised that that's a really good one for Apple.
It is, it's a good one for all computers. And the same way there is one or two free antivirus programs too that are really good. Avast is one of them that's really good. So there's several free ones out there that you don't have to pay for. But they're just the basic antivirus type programs. Malwarebytes is an anti-malware program. So they do specific things where Norton and McAfee and those, they combine everything into one. And they have one program that just does all of that. That's the difference, and you're paying for it.
Can you define what malware is?
No.
Anybody?
It's
What is malware? See, we have a lot of technology.
Mal means bad, M-A-L.
Yes.
The prefix for bad.
A bad software, okay. And another question I have, and you know, we've asked many times, but you understand that we don't know everything, so what you know, we value that. We want your input, your help with help sessions and talks and everything. But one thing I would like to know more about is VPNs. I hear on this Kim Commando show that I listened to about getting a private VPN. Who knows what a VPN is and what that means?
It's, go ahead, Steve.
Yeah.
I would say that a VPN is like a fax machine. It's where your computer hooks to another computer. And nobody else can use that channel to steal your data or anything. And so it's just a secure connection, kind of like what Larry's doing right now to that computer in the room. And nobody else can tap into it.
Yeah, VPN stands for Virtual Private Network.
Oh.
So that it's a private connection from computer to computer. And like you said, nobody can break into it. It's kind of along the same lines as what banks and stuff use now. It's a little bit different in that anybody can use it. And they don't necessarily use encryption on it, but VPN is actually basically a form of encryption. It gets you so that only one computer can talk to one computer. That's it. So whatever connection you make. And if you're in a motel connecting on their system, you want to use a VPN if you're doing just about anything on the network. You definitely don't want to be doing any banking or buying things on the internet from those kind of open networks, because they're wide open. Anybody can get into them. Anybody can see your computer. And so you want to make sure that if you're doing anything secure on there, you use a VPN.
Or sign off of the network and just go onto your cellular if you're gonna be.
Right, if you have that capability, yeah. So yeah, if you're on your phone, then yeah, go to your cellular, but if you're on a laptop or something like that, just use a VPN, it's just easier. And VPNs, there's a few free ones, but most of them will cost you something. McAfee and Norton provide VPNs within their software, and it's included in their software price.
I'm also curious about phones. How many of you use Verizon for your cell service? So how many use AT&T? How many use Xfinity? What I like about Xfinity is that they use the same towers as Verizon and others, but they cost less. And then what's the other?
T-Mobile.
T-Mobile, who uses T-Mobile? Anybody use? Yeah.
Do you want to know?
Were you gonna say something?
She said,
Consumer Cellular, how many you got? And Pure Talk? It's run by veterans. Okay, see, some of these things that are not the usual AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon are able to use the same towers, so you get the same service, but usually for less.
Well, that's what consumer cellular.
Exactly, Consumer Cellular,
Well, since we've had it, the price never went up.
and excellent, it's good to know. And see, this is the kind of networking that I like that we can do also, the type of find out about this service or this service or that service or whatever. So let's share.
So I've always had Verizon, and when I got my new phone, like about a year and a half ago, I was going to go to Xfinity because they told me they use Verizon towers. When I went to buy my phone, when I was at Best Buy, they told me that, yes, Xfinity uses Verizon towers, but they don't have access to all of the Verizon towers. Now, and at the time, we were traveling sometimes in pretty remote areas, and so I didn't want to take a chance. That, do you know that that is so, that they only have?
No, it's a good.
I have not found anywhere that I can't use Xfinity.
Either, yeah.
And I have another friend that you switched over to Xfinity and they traveled all
Yeah.
last summer and they didn't have any trouble either. So.
Yeah, I even traveling overseas, I didn't have any trouble. I just went and asked them to put me on the global plan and paid for it, but yeah, it's all, I think all of their towers are available. So I don't think there's a lot of restrictions.
So there's a big difference in price.
In the
Right.
price, definitely.
Well, the one thing is to get on Xfinity, you have to have Xfinity internet.
I do already.
So, yeah, you have to have Xfinity internet, that's one of the catches. And then you can, if you get their unlimited plan, it's not that much cheaper. But if you get their by the gig plan, it can be quite a bit cheaper. For me, by the gig makes the most sense because I use it where I have Wi-Fi everywhere. So I don't use the network that much. It's all done through Wi-Fi. And so that makes it a lot cheaper to do it that way.
So in order to use Wi-Fi, you can even use it for phone calls. What you do is turn off your data and then just make sure your Wi-Fi is on and solid to use that, correct?
Yeah.
How about CarPlay or I don't, what do they call it for the,
I can't remember all of something.
what's it called?
CarPlay.
Well, CarPlay, I think it's Apple.
Yes, it is.
And what is the one for Android? Does anybody know?
It's auto something because I use it in my car. I just push the button.
What is it, Steve?
I can't remember.
Oh, okay. Well, that's very convenient for hands-free driving, of course. Hi. Are you here for the tech club? It's okay, you're welcome to come. Well, the vets are coming.
No, Vets Club was last week. That's okay. That's okay. You're welcome anytime.
Right, so since we have a little time, are there any other things you're wondering about or any things you want to share about technology? Maybe you just found out about this thing or that thing? We'd love to hear. Yes,
It's called Android Auto
Android Auto, okay.
instead of Apple, like.
Well, you mentioned being able to connect to your wireless.
What's that?
You mentioned that we could connect to the tech club's wireless.
Yeah,
So if I wanted to print something color, I could connect.
yes.
How do you do that?
Are you Apple or Android?
Apple.
The lady sitting right next to you just took the mic. She can explain to you exactly how to do that.
Well, it's just a thing, when you get your membership, you got a password for the computers and a password for Wi-Fi. At home, you have set up your Wi-Fi there, right?
Right.
So you can look where the Wi-Fi is, and it will usually say join network, and you can choose the Sunflower Tech Club Wi-Fi, and then put in the password that you were given on that little sticker. And then once you put it into your phone or tablet, it should be there all the time. You shouldn't have to put it in all the time.
That's great.
Yes.
I'll show you how to do it after.
Liz is definitely the Apple guru here that you go to. And
Anything else?
other questions? Or information to share? Yes.
If we have a problem with our home desktop, who do we call?
That's a good question.
I get calls, we all get calls from time to time, if somebody has a problem. The tech club is not set up for tech support outside of the village center. If it's an Apple product, call Apple support, and Liz and I can give you the number. If it's not, then I think some people have recommended NOS computers, which I believe is on Ina near Shannon. There's the Geek Squad. Does anybody else have a
You can,
go-to?
you can call Mark Kowalski as well, and he will help you as well. He's the garage door guy, if you don't know who he is. And he's really good at it. He used to do that, kind of on the side, so he's good at it.
And he is listed in the classified ads in Suncatcher. Is there
For garage doors.
but now you know the secret that we have a,
But he does not do Apple, just so you know.
it doesn't do Apple, but call Apple support.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have a favorite tech helper that you go to for support when you have problems?
Well, if
Besides
you
that
go into Simultech,
Simultech,
you see, or however you
Oh,
say it,
okay.
yeah.
that's on Fort Lowell and Country Club.
And they do all Apple products. And they're a little easier to work with because I find when you go to the Apple store, it's so loud in there and it's hard to hear. And there you can just do one-on-one. It's just much more flexible in my opinion. And your prices are the same as Apple's. What's the name? SIMULTEK, I believe.
SIMUTEK, Simutech. And yeah, they do focus on apples. Now at the Apple store, you may or may not know that there's also classes you can take on how to do photography. Anyone who buys a new watch or a new tablet and so forth, they have classes that get you started on those. And those are free. That's another service. I don't know why Tucson only has one Apple store in the whole state, in the whole county, I think, but that's the way it is. Any other tech support you found?
One thing I didn't show you on here, and I don't know if it's on this particular computer or not. I know it's on all the others. I don't see it on this one. There's two icons on the other computers on the screen for GFC Global. That is a training organization and it's all free. You can click on it. And they train on everything. They have technical subjects, they have computer subjects. They have all across the range of whatever you really want to learn about. They have classes on that, and you can take it all. It's all free online classes. And then the other one, what was it?
Seniorplanet.com.
Seniorplanet.com. And so that's another one that's supported by AARP that has mainly tech classes that you can take online, that they just kind of take you through how to do things. The other good source, the final source, if you can't find it anywhere else, go to YouTube, type in what you're looking for, and there's going to be 100 things that come up telling you how to do what you want to do. Because you can learn how to do anything on YouTube.
Exactly.
So.
Now, some people learn different ways. I know I learn better with someone telling me do this and this, and if there's a problem. So it depends on your learning style too, how you learn best. I do want to put in a plug for Senior Planet. I've been using, not only do they have technology, they have all kinds of classes. And they don't even ask if you're a senior, anyone can use it. And the other thing is their fitness classes. So I love their morning stretch class, and they have other fitness things throughout the day on Zoom. Now, speaking of Zoom, I want to remind you that all of the meetings that we have, whoever's sitting over there is recording the whole meeting. And then it goes, and it's also on Zoom for somebody who cannot come to the meeting physically. You can access it on Zoom. And then Larry puts it on YouTube, where you can go to Sunflower Tech Club or Technology Club on YouTube. Once you're in YouTube, search for that. And then you can see all the past meetings. You know, if you miss a meeting on a topic that you're interested in, you can do that.
Another way to get to that same page is to go to our meetings page, and there's an icon, YouTube icon on there. Just click on that. It'll take you right there.
Could you show us our website?
Sure.
So they can see everything that's on there?
And see, this has we have links to the GCF Global and the Senior Planet there. That's on there. We have information about our, help sessions, scam alerts. As you go down through the menu on the left, you have the about, it just gives a description, purpose, all of that. And then on the meetings page, well, I don't know why I went there, on your organization page, that has all of the tech team, tech club board, our charter, our bylaws, our membership policies. Then if you go to meetings, it has what our tech talk's gonna be about. It has a link to the meetings. And then general meeting videos are available on YouTube. You just click on this and it'll take you to YouTube. It takes you right there and you can go through and select which meeting you want to go to. And I've tried to put a description on there of what was discussed at the meeting, what the tech talk was about. Then you can go to activities. This just tells you about our help sessions. And that's primarily what's on this page. And when our meetings are, board meetings and all of that. Then YouTube and presentations takes you to a page that has links to some of our older presentations, as well as the link to the YouTube is here as well. But you can, any of these others are PDFs of presentations that were done prior, and it's got the years when they were done and all of that on there. And then under resources, it's just got some more information on places you can go to get help. It's got the computer lab guide here, how to safeguard against identity theft, senior planets on here again, all of that. And then the membership and forms. This is where you can actually go if you want to renew your membership. You can actually go here and pay with a credit card or PayPal. You do that there as our membership form. And it also has a DNR form that is something we provide in case anybody needs that. And we even have the orange paper to print it on in the lab. So if you ever want to print a DNR form for yourself or for a loved one, you can do that.
Okay, DNR means do not resuscitate, and it must be on an orange paper. We do have orange paper available. And the fire department, for example, if there was ever an emergency, they would look for that posted on your refrigerator. So they would know that that is your preference, that if you're having a heart attack or something and you prefer not to be resuscitated, that those are your wishes. You can also get one of those forms from your doctor, or if you're going into the hospital, you can get that too. That just is an alert, so that shows your decision has been made one way or the other, so that a loved one doesn't have to make that decision for you. So that form is fillable, so you can put in all your information, and then we'll have to make available orange paper so that you can print it. I think the drawers that are underneath the scanner, maybe we can put some orange paper in there if you want to print that. And then to do that, that means you have to go to the printer and pull out the paper tray and put in one of the orange papers, push it back in, and then print it once you have filled it out. Any questions about that? That's just another service we're providing.
And if you do a DNR, the suggestion is also to put a picture of a person that applies to next to it or on attached to it, so that you know, so they know who they're referring to.
Yeah.
So that's our website, and like I say, by the end of the year, we will have the new website up. It's the whole Sunflower Living, all the club pages, everything's going to the new format. And so that will have available by the end of the year. It's more mobile friendly. It's easier for people to maintain. This page requires a lot of coding and stuff, and we're trying to get away from coding because I don't do coding. I do everything through templates and stuff, so it's a lot easier on the new systems to do that. And that's all the new technology that's out there. So.
Our garden club is in the process of updating our webpage. Shall we wait till,
Well, Larry East does yours, right?
yes,
Yeah, just get the information to him. We are currently updating everything in the new format, but we can also put it in this format as well. It's pretty easy to do both, to get it in both places until we go completely live with the new site. So, but we like to keep the new site up to date so that when we do go live with it, it'll already be up to date. We don't have a lot of work to.
so.
So get it to him and, yeah, get it to him and he'll update it for you.
Thank you.
Are there any other representatives from any clubs that are members of the tech club?
Yeah,
Yes,
travel club,
okay.
please remember.
And so if you're involved in a club, make sure that your club leaders know that as a member, as a benefit of a club membership, which is separate from the household membership, that Larry and Timothy will help set up a landing page, a basic home page, and can help you set up for paying for membership through PayPal. And then you have access to our Pro Zoom. You can use the Zoom for your club meetings if you want to have them not in person, but also on Zoom. And so that's another benefit that we offer. I mean, I've never lived anywhere where there are this many options and this much available. So we're really lucky at Sunflower.
What do you mean by pros?
Oh, but it's professional. See, there's free Zoom, and I think you can only use it for 40 minutes for a limited number of participants. If you have a pro or professional Zoom, you can have, I think, up to 100 participants, and you can have a longer Zoom. And it costs about 150 a year. Okay, well, thank you so much for coming, and we're here to help. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you, Larry. These